Yeah, it's CC, CEO. Wanna change your life? Come see me, yo. I'ma teach you how to build up wealth for your family, not just for yourself. I'm a bestseller, a house flipper, a businesswoman, a go-getter, a big investor, a goal builder that can teach you to get richer like millions, baby. You really about to fill your savings. You about to have multiple streams to pass your children, baby. Let me teach you to get your credit on track in the long run. You'll make it all back at Catalyst and watch it all psychology black-owned firm, but we ain't all black.
What's up? What's up? What's up, everybody? It's your girl, Constance Carter. I'm talking a little loud today because I had to take my mic off. I was having some technical difficulties before I came live today. But I see y'all over there. I see you guys over there waiting on me, and I appreciate y'all. You don't know how much I appreciate you. Thank you for joining me. I know you could be anywhere else. I know you could be listening to anybody else. I know you could be hanging out with anybody else. I know all of that stuff, but you choose to be here with your girl. And for that, I am so grateful. I'm so thankful. Good morning, Miss Sophia. Thank you so much. Thank you for all the folks who got on before me and was like, yo, Constance, where you at? So thank you. I love for you to talk back to me and talk black to me. So thank you. It really makes me feel really good that you guys come on here with me every morning. There was some that I really I'm ready to get into. But, before we get into that, every time we come live, I like to shout you out. So in the comments, can you please put where you're watching from, where you're hailing from? Because, I love to, I don't know if we have people that are in Stockton, California. We may have people that are over. Okay, Booker, what's up? What's happening, Booker? Overseas. We have people in Fort Worth, Texas. We got people in Stockton, California, maybe in Seattle, Washington. It's a beautiful day in Seattle. What's up, lovely JR? You always be here. Thank you. Thank you for your support. Thank you. So make sure you put in the comments where you're watching from. Okay, that's the first thing. Second thing is, we have to practice collective economics. Now, what I'm getting ready to talk about today, y'all, for real, what we're getting ready to talk about today I think it's going to be a time where we can really put practice into work. Okay. So please, if you have a product, a business, a service, put your information in the chat, because the only way that we're going to really move our community forward is if we work together, is if we practice collective economics, is if we do the things. Okay. So please put your business, your product, or your service in the chat. The other thing is, my good girlfriend Tiara, who's not going to be on here today, by the way. And I know you guys like to dialogue with me and Tiara, but she actually started a business directory for Black people. And so if you have a business, not only do we want to shout you out here, but we also want to put it inside the business directory. And so if you have a business, please put email your information to info@realvirtual.net, because we want to be able to, patronize your business. We want to be able to utilize you. So we want to put you in the business directory. This is absolutely free. She's doing this absolutely free for y'all. So the business, send your email to info@realvirtual.net. All right. As always, this is a dialogue and not a monologue. So I love for you to talk back to me and talk black to me, like real talk. So continue to put your chats, your questions, your comments in the comments, and share this to everybody. Make sure you also subscribe to the Fly Nubian Queen, Boyce Watkins, and I Am Constance Carter, everywhere on I Am Constance Carter. Okay. So before I get started, I have a new segment coming up. It's called, I didn't have it on here. It's called, well, I'm not going to talk about it yet. So, all right. So let me ask you a question. I always talk to my good girlfriend, Tiara, and I ask her, like, what she do? What did she do last night? So I'm going to ask you guys, since I'm just talking to y'all, did you guys do anything special? Last night was Thursday night. Did you do anything special on a Thursday night? I was going to stay in. I was supposed to go to this MBE, Minority Business Enterprise Conference, and I totally forgot about it. So I was sitting on my couch, and I was scrolling, and I found out my good girlfriend passed away. And I was so saddened to see my friend Sharice. Do I have her picture? My good girlfriend Sharice Porter passed away. I don't know how she died, and I just found out as I was scrolling through social media, and it kind of hit me. I was like sitting there, and I was stuck, because Sharice is my friend. You know what I mean? Sharice is my friend. I sold her all her properties. She's come to all my conferences. Like she went to Catalyst Real Estate School. And she was my friend. And so I was really saddened to hear that Sharice passed away. I still don't know how she died. I just saw on social media that she died, and that was my friend. And so I was really sad. I was stuck. But like, she went to my real estate school. She ended up moving from California before I did. She ended up moving to Atlanta. And we just talked a few months ago. And she was just posting a couple of, like, last week. I don't know what happened. So I was really sad. So I ended up going. I said, you know what? I got to get out of this house because I felt really bad. I said, I got to get out of this house. And so I went over to this little neighborhood spot called Grace's in out here in Prince George's County. Now, Grace's is pretty cool. I heard the legendary stories of Grace's. And this is a Japanese restaurant. I heard the legendary stories of Grace's. Like, everybody said, oh, before the pandemic, Grace's was it. Grace's was it. And I tell you, the first time I went to Grace's, I was looking around. I was like, hey, it's brothers up in Grace's with soups on and everything. So I went over to Grace's just to have a drink. And I go there by myself and I meet people all the time. And I met, my girlfriend, Bobby Keisha. I spoke at one of her events, and I met, several people, made friends with people at Grace's. So that was cool. And I was talking to my homeboy Marcus on my way in there, and he was like, show your hand. That way you can get a free drink. So I was like, so I went in there with my hand in my pocket, and I was like walking like this. And these brothers, these older gentlemen, they was all cute dogs. They was like, what's wrong with your hand? I was like, I don't know. You want to buy me a drink? And so I sat down and I was chopping it up with these old dudes, and it was cool. It was like 3 old Qs. One of them, they're all, highly professional. They were all probably retired. And they, one of them owned an art gallery. A couple of them worked for the Pentagon. So it's always really cool to be around all this Black excellence, all these Black people who are doing really, really great things. So I was thinking about my first experience at Grace's. Let me tell y'all. The first time I went to Grace's, then we're gonna get into it, but I just, you guys y'all my family. So I'm just talking to you like y'all my family, and I'm minding my Black business and mining my Black business. If you want this cup, it's available on conversationtees.com. But the first time, I just gotta tell you a quick story before we start, because it's hella funny. Okay. Now, my girlfriends was asking me when I first moved out here, like, how's dating in the DMV? What's it like? What's going on? Is it cool? And I was like, I was sharing some of my experiences. And so I went to Grace's. The first time I went to Grace's, I went there to meet a gentleman, but it was not a date. It was absolutely not a date. My daughter met him at her job, and he said he did government contracting. And so I was like, okay, I'd like to connect with him. Maybe there's some opportunity, because I wanted to get into government contracting as I was here. And so he said, well, let's meet up at Grace's. So I get to Grace's and I look around, and I'm seeing all these fine brothers, and I go over there and I see this guy, and I was like, okay, there's no love connection, whatever. So this dude gets to talking, and I think I got a video. He gets to talking about, it was the weirdest thing I've ever seen. All of these things he said he was. Let me tell you. But let me just run down what this told me. So let me just run down what he told me, okay? Like I said, the first thing he said, that he's a sniper. He said he's in Black Ops, and he did some tours in Afghanistan and Russia. He has several multi-million-dollar corporations. He said he's a genius, and he does government contracts. He's a manager, and he has nonprofits. He flies in private jets. He's a movie producer and a record producer. And I'm writing all these notes while he's talking to me. And at this point, I checked out. I'm not even giving him eye contact. I'm just looking down, like, texting. And I'm also texting my girls like, this, And so he said he's a master genius that plays every instrument and has a band, but doesn't play. He doesn't play in the band because he don't feel like it. He just likes to manage them. He has a master's from several Ivy League schools, including Stanford, Rutgers, and a few more. He was hand-selected, check this out, to work for Obama. And every time Obama was waving, he was waving at him to say, good job. He's an airplane mechanic by trade. And he has both a soulmate and a twin flame. That's why he's going to take the private jet to Florida that weekend, because he wanted to see his twin flame. But he also has a fiance that wants to get married in December. And he can't keep a wife because he's too nice, and because women always come up to him wanting him to sign their breasts. You know why? Because he's a member of the Wu-Tang Clan. He's a member of the Wu-Tang Clan. And I'm finna put this video underneath there because when I had to start taking videos of the nigga, he had to call Puff to tell Noriega to stop disrespecting his group or he was gonna lose his life. Like Tupac and Biggie. Yo, I had did that video for my girls. I was like, okay, let me tell you how I did it. So yeah. So the first time I went to Grace's, that was my experience. And so I was texting my girlfriends, like, you got to be kidding me. This is right. So I was writing this shit down as he was saying all this stuff. And and so I was like, and so my girlfriend called me. She goes, hey, I'm in Virginia and my car is broke down. And I was like, how far is Virginia? Because I just moved down there 4 months ago. How far is Virginia? And he was like, I don't know, like an hour. I was like, I got to go to Virginia. My friend's car is broke down. Wait. But I'm in the meantime, while I'm doing this, I'm taking a video of this clown. And listen, it's real. Watch this.
When you got people in your own neighborhood barking on you, yeah, you see what happened to Tupac and Biggie. You might want to apologize, little fella. And I started laughing because he called my group out by name, and he don't even know me. I never said that to him. I was going to talk to Puff and be like, hey, can you tell Nori to apologize, please, so he don't die? But see, Puffy shot a nigga in the club and had Sean take the rap for it, so he know how it works. And like I said, my cousin worked for Puffy.
I subjected myself to this for probably a good hour, y'all. I was listening to this bullshit for a good hour, and I was just like, what? He was none of the things. So he told my daughter he did government contracts. That's why I went up to meet him. And, he did government contracts. He was a sniper. He was in black ops. It was just all the things. It was all he was. But the biggest thing was that he was in the Wu-Tang Clan. And when he said that, I was just like, this is some bull. Like, this is crazy. So, I went to Grace's last night, and then after Grace's, one of the brothers was a Pan-Africanist, so that was pretty cool. We had a really good conversation, and honestly, I'm really a introvert, right? I'll speak if I have to. So like typically, if I'm out with my girlfriends, I'll let them do the talking. But if I'm by myself, of course, I try to talk, but I went in there with my fingers, got me a free drink, got me a Tito's and cranberry. That's my drink of choice. Had a double, got a little sympathy drink, and was just sitting up there talking to these old Qs. And actually, one of them was talking. He was just talking. He was drunk.
Them just thinking about themselves, who they are, what they want, dream.
He was talking about dreams. That dude was drunk. He was talking about dreams. Just chopping it up. So anyway, that's what I did last night. What did y'all do last night? All right, we're gonna go ahead and get started. I love our people, and I love the fact that I live here. I'm from California, but I love being here because I get to meet all of these very, very interesting people, and it's so cool. I love it. I love being around all these interesting Black people, moneyed Black people. That guy that actually was talking was very, he had an art gallery. He used to have an art gallery. He was very, very, well off, and came from, the mud, and he rebuilt himself up. He built himself up, and had a very good life in the DMV. So, but I met some really cool older gentlemen and was just talking shit. One of the guys I was there, he tried to hook me up with his friend, but his friend was about 5 feet, and he looked like he was about 67. And I said, I was just like, oh, yeah, he might be a little bit too old for me. He's like, too old for you. You ain't at your prime. Now he's talking shit to me. So we talking back and forth. You ain't at your prime. Men age like fine wine. Women age like milk. I said, yeah. So anyway, we had an exchange of words before he left. Anyway, that was my night. It's pretty cool. What did y'all do? Okay, so we are going to get into what I'm talking about, because I got a lot of good stuff to talk about. But I do want to tell you, there is going to be a new segment to the Grow Your Money podcast. And I just want to tell you really quick what it is. So let me just tell you. What's up? It's your girl, Constance Carter. And we're going to add a new segment. It's called Ask Constance. Now, this is nothing new because I've done Ask Constance in the past. It's where people shoot me a DM and they'll ask me certain questions. We're going to take a segment of the show and just answer questions. Or you can shoot me a DM. Go ahead and make sure you follow me everywhere at I am Constance Carter. Shoot me a DM and ask me a question. This could be a question about anything. It could be about real estate, credit, wealth building, marriage, love, sex, whatever you want. It could be a strawberry letter. It could be a Dear John or a Dear Abby letter. Whatever you want. Anything that you want to bring and you want to ask, we're going to have a segment just for your questions. I just did that video right before I got on. You see, I got the same outfit, all that stuff. And really, these lights make me a lot lighter. I'm really not this light. I'm really that in real life. I hate that. I'm like, how do I take this? Because I got more melanin than what you see right now. Anyway, so we're doing a new segment called Ask Constance. So you can send me, you can put it in the comments and I'll answer your question. It could be about whatever. It could be about credit, wealth building, or whatever, right? So I want to make sure that we dedicate a period where we're answering your questions. Or like if you want something a little bit more private, maybe you don't want everybody to see your question, send me a DM, follow me everywhere at I am Constance Carter right here. Shoot me a DM. And then I'll answer your question live when we're here, right? Or it could be like a strange thing, or it could be advice. Whatever, it could be something you want to share. It could be a strawberry letter. I don't know. It could be whatever. But we just want to add that because I really want to engage you, and I want to, I want to get your information, and I want to put your information out there. So if you have questions, even if you have a question, now we'll set aside some time to where we can do a Q&A. Okay. All right. So thank you, Ron. But yeah, age like milk is some bullshit, right? And this dude had, I don't want to talk about his cornrows with synthetic extensions all the way down his back. That started in the middle of his head. We're not even going to talk about the age like milk question coming from this dude. But anyway, let me ask you a question. What if I told you that your paycheck could be 100% yours? Okay. So no IRS, no income tax, no deductions, just straight up cash in your pocket. How would you feel about that? How would you feel about bringing 100% of your check home to you? But what if I also told you that your grocery bill might go up, your clothes, your iPhone, it might cost a little bit more than what it does right now. Would you still be on board? So if you had to trade off maybe getting more money in your pocket, but possibly paying more, what would you do? So I'm asking this question to you. What would you do? Would you rather get more in your pocket and pay more, or would you rather pay the IRS and pay less for your goods or services? Sounds good. I would love that. Not real, as Dr. J said, not real. No, y'all don't believe nothing Trump says? It wouldn't be convenient? Oh, okay. So it'd be good to keep money in your pocket. It just wouldn't be that great. Sophia said, I would love it. Okay. More money in my pocket. I would rather have more money in my pocket, pay a little bit more for goods and services. Okay. I would think what's coming next? Okay. All right. Okay, cool. So I do definitely want to talk about, how this could help you, your wallet, business, the Black community. Is this a power move or a financial trap? So let's talk about more money in your pocket. Okay. So that's the first thing. No federal taxes. That means you keep 100%. That means more for your savings, right? Think about this. And I need you to be very clear. I want to really, really deep dive what this really looks like for you. Because the thing about us Black people, I can say this, is that we are so reactive and not proactive. And I'm going to paint us with a broad brush on this, because we tend to get on board on things a little bit later than everybody else, right? When we talk about even like gentrification, we get mad at white people for gentrifying our neighborhoods, but because they saw the value in grandmama's house that we didn't see. So you selling your house to these white people, then you get mad at them because they living in it, but you were the one that sold it. So then you think about it later, you're thinking reactively and not proactively. Well, this is something I can build wealth with. So I want to just talk to you about let's get proactive, because this is something that can really happen. The reason why I'm really considering this, because I know Dr. J said, not happening. This is not real. This is fake news. But think about it. They've already gotten rid of several arms of the government already. CFPB gone. So the IRS being gone, it's a real possibility with this dude. Okay. So you think about a simplified tax system. It's no longer complicated on tax returns. Now, let me just tell you this. On average, Black people get audited more than anybody else. So we won't see the IRS auditing targeting Black households. And the reason why we get audited more than everybody else is because we get this, we claim this earned income credit. And then if you're a business owner, you get audited even less. So you get business owners get audited less than 1%. Okay, 1% of the time. So what it will do, think about this, is it encourages business growth, right? If businesses aren't paying federal taxes, they have more money to expand, to hire, to invest, which could mean more for Black-owned businesses thriving. Okay. You also think about this. Who was that? Who did NAFTA? Did Clinton do NAFTA when they sent over all those manufacturing jobs overseas as a NAFTA agreement? And it took a lot of the jobs away from here, but now we're getting our goods and services for much cheaper, right? So they're paying a $2 an hour wage as opposed to paying a $20 an hour wage here in America, right? So now we're able to get goods and services cheaper, but the jobs are gone. The manufacturing jobs are gone, but maybe the manufacturing jobs can be here. We can start the business, think about the supply chain, okay? And then think about other maybe foreign businesses coming here to do business here that can also contribute to our economy. Think about that. Think about that. So those are the pros, okay? The cons really are higher prices on everything, right? So if we have tariffs on imports, which are taxes on imports, well, then that goes back to us. So that means everyday item like food, electronics, clothing could cost more, which hits us harder because what? We are consumers and we're not investors. So if we don't play it right, and these tariffs come and we're not saving and investing our money, this could actually negatively impact us more because our goods and services are going to be more because we're spending. Okay. Without taxes also, there could be a loss of federal programs because we're getting our federal funding for the programs through taxes. So student loans, small business grants, things like that could be slashed. You also think about this. A large portion of the largest employer for Black people in America is the federal government. So a large number of Black people would actually lose their job. Okay. So those are the cons. So this is what we have to really think about the big picture. Yes, keeping all your money in your pocket sounds amazing. Okay. But if everything you buy costs more, are you really winning? If job opportunities shrink, if the government support for Black-owned business it disappears, right? Because we do have these incentives, we have these programs out here. And if wages don't keep up with rising prices, is this truly economic freedom? I don't know. I'm asking you. The future of our money is being debated at high levels right now. And whether you like Trump or not, these policies will affect you. But one thing that is for sure, we need to be informed. We need to be proactive because whether the IRS stays or goes, we are the architects, you Black people, of our financial future. So you got to think about this. Think about what happens. How can we win in this situation? If the U.S. becomes a tax-free business haven, companies worldwide will bring their money and operations here instead of going to Mexico. They go to Mexico because it's cheaper to hire labor. But if you're paying them $2 an hour, you're paying us $20 an hour. But if there's no taxes, there's more money for the bottom line of the company. They can pay a living wage to the people here. So you think about that. That's more money in the pockets of the businesses, of the companies, which can translate to more money to you for a living wage. So now those manufacturing businesses can actually come back to America that Clinton sold out to overseas, to China, to Mexico, right? In that NAFTA agreement. Think about that. How do we win in this? How do we win in this, Black people? We start businesses now that will benefit from the increased production and investment. That's one. We create strategic partnerships with incoming foreign companies to get contracts and jobs and funding because foreign companies will come over here if it's attractive if we don't have taxes. You think about the hub zones and the business zones for Black people. We can start doing business. We can become the investor, the owner, rather than the consumer. We got to get in position now. We got to get in position now and think about it. If there's no taxes, if there's no, I need you to think straight, because what's happening is these pundits and the media, the people who are against Trump, they don't want Trump to, win anything. Now, let me tell you something. When we look at DEI, right, in the grand scheme of things, now DEI, we know. For me, I'm still gonna boycott Target on the 28th, because these companies, by making the announcement that they're rolling back DEI, to me they're saying a big F you to you as Black people. Even though DEI didn't benefit, it was a vanity, right? It was a vanity thing, right? The only reason why they implemented it anyway was because of the whole George Floyd thing. They didn't do it because they wanted to. I worked at HP. That was one of my first corporate jobs. DEI was already incorporated in their culture of their business, because what they understood about sociology and psychology about the workforce is that if it's diverse, if people felt included, they're going to be more productive. This is what they knew. They had this thing called the HP way. This is what HP knew. They knew that they didn't pay the most, but they knew that they had the best retention because they had a great place for people to work. So they made sure that people felt included. We had DEI training way back then, way 25 years ago, because it was already enveloped in the corporate culture, right? Because the people who understand that, they know that they're gonna make more money, they're gonna have more loyalty, they're gonna have less turnover, higher productivity, all of that. But the people who did it within the last few years, they only did it because of the pressure to do it. It was vanity. It literally wasn't to help Black people out in any way. So as soon as Trump said, we ain't doing that shit no more, these companies rolled it back and they said, we no longer want to participate. So that was a big FU to you Black people, because DEI was supposed to be about you after Black Lives Matter, George Floyd and all that stuff. So it was a big FU to you, right? It was a big FU to you. So I'm a boycott them just on the strength of that. But we know DEI didn't do anything for us anyway, because we weren't the major benefactors for DEI. If Trump eliminated income taxes, FDEI, I'm saying FDEI, because you think about this. You think about the middle class. The middle class is the biggest payer of federal income taxes. Wealthy people don't pay taxes. Donald Trump doesn't pay taxes anyway. We already know he don't pay taxes. He already said, I don't pay taxes because I'm smart. He has tax shelters set up so that he's not contributing to the economy. You, ladies and gentlemen, are paying the majority of the taxes. Look at Warren Buffett. Warren Buffett said his secretary pays more money in taxes than he does because he is a business owner. When you have a business owner, you have tax shelters and tax protections. Imagine you not having to pay that and you have more. And so Black people are like, no, that means I'm not going to get no more tax refund. Yo, dummy, your tax refund is your money anyway that you were overpaying to the government. People get so excited about, I'm about to get my taxes, I'm getting my taxes back, and they go buy them TVs and shit. When you were overpaying the government, they were taking your money, they were investing your money and doing whatever because you overpaid them, and now you're just getting a refund. That's what a refund is from an overpayment. So it's not a bonus that you get from the government because you got a job. You paying them out of your check every month and you overpaid them. Imagine if you did not have to pay them. What would that look like? Think about your check right now, because most people are paying about 30% of their whole income taxes. Look at your gross. Wouldn't that look real nice? I don't give a damn who Donald Trump. He could be Satan himself. But you get rid of these federal taxes? I'm with that. I am with that. I don't want him to fail on that. You know how a lot of white people wanted Obama to fail just because he's Black. I just want him to fail. I don't care if it benefits me or not. I just want him to fail. I don't want Donald Trump to fail on getting rid of the IRS. I don't want him to fail. I want him to get rid of the IRS. So how is he proposing to get rid of the IRS? Well, the tariff. He wants it to be the external revenue service. So what he wants to do is he wants the foreigners to pay for taxes, because when you look at it, so the math isn't an equal wash. I think they collect $1.3 trillion or something. I think $1.3 trillion they collect in taxes every year from the American people. If they switch that off to tariffs, the foreigners will pay that $1.3 trillion. It will be like an equal wash. Of course, there's so many other factors in that, so it's not going to be where it just balances itself out. I don't know if the thought, and this is just as a thought in my mind, I don't know if the thought of getting rid of these federal agencies, right, that's costing the taxpayer money, is going to be able to contribute to us eliminating the IRS for us. I'm not sure, but it would make sense to me. Now, I just posed a question on my Facebook the other day because I was like, I'm not an economist, so I don't understand how getting rid of federal employee jobs is helping the economy, because then you think it'd be a drain on unemployment. You would think it would be a drain on the economy, right? Now houses are going up for sale, and now people can't afford their lifestyle, and you know, it's going to be a drain on the economy, I would think. But hopefully it'll encourage, you know, some kind of everybody's not meant to be a business owner, but hopefully it'll spark some ideas in people's minds so that they can do something different. Because again, the federal government is the biggest employer of Black people, so we are disproportionately affected because we are disproportionately employed by the federal government. That's a fact. That's the negative. That's the negative thing of this whole thing. But if we look at the everyday consumer, and we don't have federal income taxes, but you know, maybe our iPhone's going to go up because we know that the electronics inside the iPhone comes from China. We have to, like, they just don't manufacture it. We know that lithium is not made in this country. I think it's in Africa. So we know that we don't have certain resources that we could do here. But what we do know is there are companies now. Okay, clothes are going to start costing more. Remember, we used to have made in the USA. We don't have it anymore. But what if we Black people start manufacturing our own clothes? And we were able to do it. Maybe it might be a little bit more expensive, but if we have more money in our pockets, maybe we can pay a little bit more for our clothes, right? If we have a little bit more in those are opportunities for us. So I want you to think about that. Get in position now, because these industries, you need to study industries that are going to be affected by tariffs and step into leadership roles early. Invest in real estate. With the IRS gone, there's no federal tax on rental income, home sales, real estate investments. This could make property ownership even more valuable for you. So if you start buying rental properties now before the market reacts, okay, being proactive and not reactive, or even if there's, you know, if there is a slight chance that it's going to happen, you start buying rental property now, or investment property, or you start flipping now. One of the things I teach my students is when you flip, there's a difference when you're flipping property or when you're selling real estate. If you flip it in the name of a corporation, and you flip it in the name of LLC, and you flip it in the name of a sole proprietor. If you flip in your property in the name of your corporation, there are no reporting requirements. That's what a lot of people don't know. So when I was flipping my properties in my LLC, the IRS, I was getting a 1099 at the end of the year. When I was flipping my property in the name of my corporation, I was not getting a 1099 at the end of the year. The title company doesn't report that to the IRS. There's little things like that the common person doesn't know. But what if there was no income taxes on properties that you flip? How much would you get? What about capital gains? What about that 33 to 3% that you get in capital gains for selling some of the investment property that would no longer go to the federal government? We can start becoming developers. One of the things that we're doing inside the B1 Real Estate Mastery Training that I am the instructor on is we're developing. I'm getting Black people in position to start developing. Not just we're buying, selling, we're flipping and all that stuff, but we're developing communities. What if you start developing housing and you don't have to pay any income taxes? Oh my God. If you invest in Black-owned real estate projects to strengthen ownership in our communities, that will actually help. That would recycle the dollar. Instead of renting, we can own. Instead of working for somebody else, build properties and businesses that people will need. Think about that. Also, let's also think of the key factor of, you know, the skilled laborers, trades. Everybody ain't meant to go to college, okay? So if tariffs raise prices on imported goods, domestic manufacturing, skilled trades would boom. All the skilled tradesmen, they don't get paid a whole lot of money. A lot of the, say, in construction, things like that. So if we started training Black youth right now in high demand skills like electrical work, plumbing, robotics, AI-driven manufacturing, that's a win. We start factories, Black-owned factories that produce high demand goods. Think about this. Y'all start thinking outside the box, Black people. This could benefit us. Start building trade schools. Start putting our money together and investing together. Build trade schools, apprenticeship programs to help create this generational wealth building for these children, because these are going to be high income careers. Tech is not the only way to wealth. These skilled labor and these manufacturing jobs, we get rid of the IRS and these types of positions start to come back into America. Because I believe that when they did that NAFTA deal, when they drafted that NAFTA deal, they sold us out. A lot of people lost their jobs. Jobs went overseas because instead of paying $20 an hour, they can get the same stuff for $2 an hour. And then for us, the cost of the goods go down, but we still paying 30% in taxes. So without wealth, without government dependence, we actually have more power. This is how we win. I want you to think about that, Black people. So we got to look at how we do it, each one teach one, right? We got to start educating people on the possibilities. We have to take our dependence off of the federal government. We're so upset about, them rolling back. And yeah, like the protections of the CFPB, that's bad. We need the CFPB as a watchdog to protect us, because now we're going to see all of these big corporations that are going to be charging these exorbitant fees. They're going to be, probably doing a lot of predatory things to us that, we have no protections. However, we could still with things like this, we can still come together. If we start managing our money, we start working together. We have people within our community like you, because you're listening, because you understand, like me, and we're teaching people how to really build wealth, how to really manage our money. We can create and own economic safety nets through collective economics, through group investing, through community lending. These are the things that we can do if we have no taxes. We can build institutions. This is the thing that we have to do when we have to work together. Okay? So it's not about the what ifs, it's about really being ready. Whether Trump gets rid of the IRS or not, the real question is, are we in a position to be taken advantage of? We can't just react. We have to be ahead of the game. If we prepare, we can turn this into one of the biggest economic power moves that Black America has ever seen. Think about that. Think about that. So real quick, I want to tell you about the Grow Your Money Club, because it's one of the ways that... Have you joined the Grow Your Money Club yet? If not, why not? The Grow Your Money Club is a comprehensive program designed to take you through the complete wealth building journey. We don't just offer random courses, we guide you along a clear path, starting with fixing your credit and becoming a certified credit expert, to building your business, increasing your cash flow, diversifying your portfolio, and ultimately letting your money work for you. With over 30 trainings designed to increase your net worth, you get to either purchase the trainings individually or go through the 12-month roadmap. Here are just a few of the courses. From campus to cash flows, this is teaching your children to become real estate investors. The wealth map training shows you how to eliminate your debt, increase your credit, and diversify your revenue. You can learn to write your book using ChatGPT. Learn how to build your online community. What about 8 ways to make money using AI? Oh, and here's 7 online revenue streams to fund your $1 million dream. How about learning how to purchase tax deeds or land banks? What about getting started in government contracting? If you're a rookie, the Real Estate for Rookies training has everything you need. The Business Blueprint training will help you build your business foundation, get business credit, get business funding, and learn how to pay yourself so that you can scale your business to the next level. Or perhaps you want to create jaw-dropping video content using CapCut, Midjourney, and ChatGPT. There are so many trainings and master classes within the Grow Your Money Club, and I also drop 1 new training per month. You do not want to miss out on this opportunity to invest in yourself, because guess what? You are your biggest commodity. You are your biggest investment. Join the Grow Your Money Club today. All right, so what do you think about that? What do you think about what I said so far? What do you think about what I said so far? Think about those things that I think can really be a benefit to us as Black people. Again, stop looking at things as the glass is half empty and start looking at the things as the glass is half full. Please. Start looking at the glasses half full. So what are your thoughts about some of the things that I just said? First of all, let me go back. Let me go back to the Grow Your Money Club. If you have not joined the Grow Your Money Club today, you need to join the Grow Your Money Club. There are over 30 trainings that I have in this Grow Your Money Club. There's a roadmap to get you from being an employee, getting you prepared for all of this stuff, get you over to being an investor. Okay. So to go to growyourmoney.club. And if you're interested, sign up for the 12-month, or you could do a bundle where you're just investing in real estate courses or other different types of training. I forget what the other bundles. There's like 4 different bundles. There's a business bundle, there's a real estate bundle, there's an investment bundle, or you could just buy the trainings a la carte. And so however you want to do it, just invest in yourself, because you are your biggest commodity and you are your biggest investor. Okay. All right, so let's go back. Let me look at your comments, and I just want to kind of see what your thoughts are. He said, "Man, shout out to Trump." How about sewing art? We got to get back to that, right? We got to get back to the basics, right? Will it go somewhere? It will go somewhere. It might go somewhere. Black Lexicon said, "I think all agencies should be disseminated to the public properly, and then put up for a referendum vote to retain, reorganize, and shutter." Maybe. Dennis Spraggin says, we're going to seize the day. Dr. J said, we can pay one price, every citizen, not based on income. $200 a year from 1 billion people is enough money to run the government. Okay. So if we do that, if we pay $200, you said, a year from everybody, that should be enough to run the government. So do we still keep all of the agencies in there, Dr. J? Do we still have all the federal agencies? Like, how is that going to work? Because then do we still need the IRS? Like, how do you suggest that? More people are going to lose jobs if we get rid of DEI and IRS. Just give out more jobs and more benefits. Okay. The IRS, more Black people, again, are employed by the IRS or employed by the federal government than any other agency. Jacqueline said, "Go Trump." I mean, I ain't supporting Trump around here. I support no IRS. That's what I support. Dr. Boyce just said stock market crash was a great opportunity. It is a great. Every time here's the thing, and Dr. Boyce is definitely 100% right. Warren Buffett says buy when everybody's selling and selling when everybody's buying, right? So when the stock market crashes, that's not your time. That's not the time for you to panic and start selling off everything. That's the time for you to start buying stuff at a discount, because everything is cyclical. Every market is cyclical. It could go up, down, up, down. Everything is, if it goes down, it's going to come back up. But when you really think about what can happen if the dismantling of the IRS, because I researched this. And first of all, the first thing I thought when I saw the dismantling of the IRS, for me, and honestly, because I'm a business owner, I don't pay as much in taxes, probably as you, honestly, because I have tax shelters. But to see that the opportunity for us not to have to pay anything, like I own a mortgage company, and so when I look at what people are paying out in taxes, 30-40%. If you're self-employed, right, and you make $150,000, you got to pay like $40,000. If you don't have no write-offs, and you haven't paid your quarterly tax bill, you got to pay $40,000 at the end of the year. That's a lot of damn money. So to think that I could keep all my money in my pocket, I mean, that is not a bad idea. That is not a bad idea. I ain't saying go Trump, Jackie or Jacqueline. I'm not saying go Trump. However, it's not a bad idea. So how could eliminating the federal income tax encourage businesses to bring manufacturing back to the U.S.? Because remember, we lost it. It would depend on several factors. Okay, think about this. Lower business costs. Without corporate income taxes, companies would keep more of their profits, making the U.S. more attractive for people to operate businesses. Manufacturing costs would drop if businesses didn't have to factor in the U.S. taxes. Okay, so it would lower business costs. It will be more income for workers, right? They could take their full paycheck. They could increase their spending power. So now more money will probably go into the economy. Okay. More consumer spending could drive demand for US made products, making local production, and that's for people like you, more profitable. Okay. You may have more foreign businesses investing in the US instead of us going outside to invest in foreign areas. So no capital gains tax could really encourage more investment, factories, machinery, and technology. Okay. Even you as entrepreneurs, remember I just said how much like if you're self-employed and you're making this amount of money, would you be more willing to start a business if you didn't have to pay income taxes? Probably. Okay. So again, there's challenges, right? Because labor costs are going to be high. Even with no taxes, our wages are still higher than countries like China and Vietnam and Mexico. Okay. So a lot of businesses, even, and that's where greed comes in, right? Because even if they had no income taxes, some companies probably would still keep their manufacturing over in other places because I could get $2 an hour instead of $20 an hour. They may prefer foreign labor. So if they don't implement hiring people here or manufacturing here, it wouldn't benefit us. But the idea is supposed to be encouraging us to keep businesses here, to bring businesses here, to bring businesses to the US, right? To keep manufacturing here. Again, that NAFTA deal, it wasn't good for our economy. It wasn't good for, our skilled laborers. We lost out billions of dollars. It's going to take a lot of money to bring those manufacturing companies back, though. So, goods are going to cost more. But companies will start making more products in the US to avoid those tariffs. But it could actually increase the amount that we pay for raw materials, right? So when jobs shut down like years ago when they went overseas, they took billions of dollars, and it'll take billions of dollars to rebuild the supply chains. Think about this, and that's where we should be looking. How can we benefit? Get jobs in the supply chains, because we have to have the supply coming over to America. So what does that look like? Our prices may increase, but the dollars in our pockets may increase as well. You guys all said in the beginning, most of you guys, I think mostly everybody said, I'd rather keep more in my pocket and pay more for goods and services without having to pay taxes, right? The problem is if the government struggles to fund the infrastructure, then it could hurt maybe long term. So it has to be a really real thought out plan. Okay. So if tariffs are high enough to make US production cheaper, that's a good thing, right? If companies believe they're lowering their to incentivize you to start businesses, that's a good thing. It's not a good thing if the labor stays too expensive compared to foreign workers, right? Because then the companies are not going to want to bring if their bottom line, it has to pencil out. If their bottom line is less because they have to keep the workforce here in the US, it may not pencil out. But them not paying capital gains, them not paying taxes, What's up? It's your girl Constance Carter, and we're gonna add a new segment. It's called Ask Constance. Now, this is nothing new because I've done Ask Constance in the past. It's where people shoot me a DM and they'll ask me certain questions. We're gonna take a segment of the show and just answer questions. Or you can shoot me a DM. Go ahead and make sure you follow me everywhere at I am Constance Carter. Shoot me a DM and ask me a question. This could be a question about anything. It could be about real estate, credit, wealth building, marriage, love, sex, whatever you want. It could be a strawberry letter. It could be a Dear John or a Dear Abby letter. Whatever you want. Anything that you want to bring and you want to ask, we're going to have a segment just for your questions. Oh my God, Jahari, you are the best. You are the best because I straight got locked out the internet. My internet went off. I don't even know where I ended. Jahari back there on the ones and twos, baby. Oh my, y'all don't even know. Where did I end, Jahari? I don't even know what the last thing y'all heard. Where did I end? Where did I end? Put it in the chat. How long was I off? What happened? Okay, thank you. That will mean we as business owners would in turn have to raise our prices and physical products. We would have to in turn raise our prices, but if you got more on your bottom line, right? If you have to pay taxes, would the trade-off be worth it? Would the trade-off be worth it? That's what you have to ask yourself, right? So you got to look at how much it is that you're paying out in taxes, and then you have to look at how much it's costing you for your goods and services. Okay, I don't know where I ended at. What's the last thing you heard me say? Jahari says she don't know. Sophia, you texted me? Okay, what was the last thing I said before I got cut off? All right. How long was I out, Jahari? I was out for a minute. She said I was out for a minute, and y'all stayed on too. Oh my God, y'all. Okay. So. Damn. I don't even know where I was. What was I at before? Y'all gotta tell me, where was I at before I got cut off? And oh, by the way, you can get a minding your black business or in a minding my black business and minding my black business, conversationtees.com. While y'all tell me, dang, a whole couple of minutes and y'all still stayed on. Y'all, man, y'all love me for real. And I love you. I love you too, for real. I love y'all for real. Y'all stayed on for 2 minutes while my internet was out. Y'all love me. Tell me what the last thing I said, though. If you can tell me the last thing I said, ask any questions. You're talking about not paying taxes. I know I'm talking about not paying taxes, I know. Saving money. Okay, I've been talking about that the whole time. What part of it? So okay. So did I tell you, did I tell you about the goods? Like, if tariffs were on imports are high enough, it's a good thing if tariffs on imports are high enough to make U.S. production cheaper, right? So that's a good thing. If companies believe lower business costs outweigh labor costs, like I was telling you, Samaya, right? You got to look at what that looks like. Okay. So the U.S. may attract foreign companies. Did I talk about the U.S. may attract foreign companies if there's no capital gains tax? There's no taxes on the other companies may come, which is also going to contribute to the local economy. What did I say? Saving money. I know I'm talking about saving money. What did I say? Yeah, that capital gains is good shit. Man. I'm thrown off because I don't know where I was, but I know I was on a roll. I was talking my ass off, and then I looked up and it was black. But okay, let me go back. Let me just say this, because I wrote some notes down, right? Capital gains, it can lower costs of businesses, right? So if companies keep more for their profits, it makes companies more attractive and the U.S. more attractive of a place to operate. So that's a good thing. Manufacturing costs would drop if the business didn't have to factor in the high U.S. costs. So if we think about them that NAFTA deal was terrible for businesses. Like, that was, a lot of people lost their jobs. And a lot of times I think we're so concerned about these tech jobs and these STEM jobs, which are important. But if we could bring back labor jobs and manufacturing, the ones that we sent overseas, then that's good for the economy. That's good for our kids. Everybody ain't meant to go to college. So you think about that. Those could be jobs that people could get. Like, again, they're sending these jobs out would maybe be $20 an hour over here, $2 an hour over there. If we keep them in the country, we're lowering our tax base, and there's more money in the bottom line of the company. It's a win-win for everybody. And you think about, the more people have in their pockets, the more they spend, which is also good for the economy. Girl, read my chat. The last time Trump used tariffs, they had to bail out farmers. Okay. Jahari said that's where I was at. Okay, cool. So again, more disposable income for the workers. Will attract more foreign companies. The labor costs are still going to be high, but without the taxes, the government tariff system is going to need to be a strong tariff system to be able to fund everything. And are these companies? Yeah, well, they rely on the U.S. economy, like foreign companies that they have tariffs on. When you think about China, they do rely on us, right? For their economy. They subsidize everything over there. They have extremely cheap labor. The only reason why you got to think about the U.S. is as wealthy as it is because they had 250 years of free labor. And so now you have China who is paying their workers almost slave wages, right? But everything is cheaper over there. But then them being able to sell to the U.S., it helps their economy, and we're borrowing money from them. They're actually going to Africa and investing and building in Africa and reaping the Chinese are way ahead of the game. But if we can look to us and the U.S. to be able to create more jobs and be in a position, Black people, we got to think about those opportunities for us. Okay. So it won't work if labor is too expensive, if the U.S. doesn't invest in factories or automation or workforce development, which is extremely important, right? Because they have to train the workforce to be able to do those manufacturing jobs. They bring those jobs back and nobody able to do it, then it's not going to work. And they also have to pay a livable wage. Well, if there's no taxes, hopefully these companies will still be willing to do that. The problem is sometimes you have these companies that are super greedy and they still want to be benefited from having no taxes, but they want to outsource their labor. They're not going to. It can't work like that. They're going to have to be able to invest in the workforce here for it to work. Okay, so it can work, y'all. I believe it could work. I'm not mad at Trump for saying I want to get rid of the IRS, and I know a lot of us, because we hate Trump, we don't want anything to work. But I'm telling you, if it's for your benefit, we are paying more in taxes than anybody else. We are getting audited more than anybody else. Black people are getting audited more than anybody else. That is a statistical fact. So if we don't have that burden of being audited or being taxed, it's not a bad thing, but we got to think proactively. So I need you guys to start putting on your thinking caps now, because fuck around and Trump might do it, since he's eliminating all of these other government agencies. He eliminate the IRS, boy. It's going to be some celebration in the streets. I don't know. Real TV said, I don't believe the hype. I don't know. You think about Elon, like here's y'all. Okay, let's talk. Here's what we really have to think about. The government there has never been anyone in the history of this country in these governmental agencies that have had clean hands. Nobody. So if you trusted the Democrats to take care of you, look at what they did. They promised you a bunch of shit. One thing I can respect about this Trump is that he promised a bunch of stuff and he delivered to his base. The Democrats have promised us things for years and they never deliver on it. They never deliver on it for us. And so when we look at we gotta look at everything kind of objectively, right? Because I listen to a lot of the pundits online, and I know Trump is absolutely a crook, but so was Joe Biden, right? Joe Biden criminalized a whole lot of Black people. A lot of Black families are broken because of Joe Biden right now. Look at what Clinton did, our first Black president. Gaddafi tried to give Minister Farrakhan $1 billion to invest in the Black community, and Bill Clinton said no. So you think about, there's nobody who's in the federal government with clean hands. Donald Trump, yes, he's a crook. Everybody knows that he lies blatantly, but so do they. They just don't get caught lying. So you can't really trust any of them. What you can do is you could take advantage of the opportunities should they present themselves to you. That's what you can do. None of them can be trusted. Take advantage of the opportunities. Okay. So Jackie says she worked for Elon Bastard. Yeah. The federal government gives people power. It is the union banks. If no oversight, the rich will rule, like the Confederacy Day. You're right. Yeah, but think about how to get rich, because it's really about, it's a class thing here in the United States. It's all about classism. It's all about money. More than the black and white, it's about the green. And the reason why the Asian population is insulated when things like this happen, right? Because they have the lowest voter turnout, and they're also insulated because they have the economic power and the economic base. If we have the economic power, if we take advantage of these opportunities, don't look at it as an atrocity. Look at it as an opportunity. If we take advantage of the opportunities, then we too can be in a position to make decisions. We got to stop. The Democratic Party wants you to be reliant on the government. They do. We've been relying on the government for the last 50 years. You think about, and that's one of the next Black History moment that I'm going to have probably tomorrow when I'll be talking about the whole idea of the welfare system, how it just brought down our family units. We've been dependent on the government, and they said in order for you to, first of all, they had economic warfare against us when they wouldn't hire our Black men. So I'm a Black man. I'm trying to provide for my family. I can't provide for my family, and we have to choose between whether I'm going to stay in this house or whether my kids are going to eat. And we've become dependent on the government in the last 50 years, right? We're not on welfare more than white people are. Black people, we're not. However, we have used the welfare system, and the welfare system has broken down the Black family. And so we have to change our mindset off of being so dependent on the government to take care of us. Yeah, some of these programs are being taken away. Okay, but we got to rely on self-reliance. I remember when I first got my real estate license, I reached out to somebody that was close to my family, and I was like, and she was on Section 8. She made, we in Silicon Valley. She made, she probably back then, 25 years ago, she probably made $20 an hour. And I was like, yo, you should buy a house. She was like, and get rid of my housing. Nobody wanted to get rid of their housing. We've become so reliant on the government that, we get mad when these institutions go away. And so we're not really generating and building real wealth. And we got to step away from that. We got to get away from that. So yeah, we don't, the oversight. Yeah. I mean, our government would up anyway, but think about how we can benefit. Think about how we can, yes, the movie clock. You remember that the man could not stay in the house. So then you got the breakdown of the Black family. And so now we can't have our men in the house, and then we got to raise these kids. The government would come to Black people's house in the middle of the night to see if they men was there. And the men will be, think about this big burly Black man having to hide in the closet of his own house. And these white governmental agencies go in there and arrest them or take them off welfare if the man is caught in the house. The breakdown of the Black family. And it's been an evolutionary process since. It's been a cycle that we've been continued to be on. We got to get independent from that. We got to practice collective economics. These are fundamental things that we need to do as Black people. And so if we're in a position, y'all, and I'm rambling and I'm ranting and raving, but if we're in a position to become independent from the system, then that gives us real economic power. We are communal by nature, Black people. It's in our DNA. When you go in our DNA, you go back to Africa. Africans, when they use, how they talk about it takes a village to raise a child. They're communal. That's how we are. But we've adopted this rugged, Eurocentric, individualistic thinking based upon capitalism. I got mine, you got to get yours. When we really need to be working together as a community, because that's the only way we're going to be able to bring ourselves out. We can't be thinking singularly. We got to be thinking communally. Okay. So, y'all, we're going to get ready to get out of here. I wanted to make sure that you understood what it is that we're doing. We have the Net7 Collective, and I don't know if you guys know about the Net7 Collective, but that's my contribution to the closing the wealth gap, because I think it's extremely important. I did a TED Talk called Google That Shit. And I talked about ways we can close the wealth gap. And the cool thing is, there are ways, because there was this article in Forbes magazine that said in the year 2016 that Black median wealth was going to be at zero. I don't believe that. I believe that and fucked around and gave us the internet. We have the internet, but we also have each other. We have resources now, right? We got, they can't keep anything away from us. We can find out a whole lot of stuff in a 30-second reel. That's kind of how our attention span is. But my contribution to closing the wealth gap is through Black women. That's one of them. And my whole life is dedicated to that. So the Net7 Collective is where we have a group of women from all over the country. And the cool thing is we have our meetings every Wednesday. The cool thing is we're getting ready to come together for our anniversary, but I coach them collectively. And there's been so many great results that have come out of the coaching of the Net7 Collective. Lives have changed. It's one of my greatest legacies that I'll say that I have is with these Black women through the Net7 Collective. And, they're just doing some amazing things as a result of going through my program. And so if you're interested, if you are a Black woman or a Black woman, have them go to net7bbs.com and I'll talk to them and see if they will be a good fit. We want a certain type of woman, only because everybody is not ready to be a part of the Net7. And if you aren't ready to be a part of Net7, everybody has access to the Grow Your Money Club. And the Grow Your Money Club, I just did a commercial, and we played it earlier, but I did a commercial just the other day. One of the things that I do is I show you how to create jaw-dropping video content. I did a video, yesterday, like in 30 minutes. This video right here, I did in 30 minutes. I teach you how to do the same thing inside the Net7 Collective and also inside the Grow Your Money Club. But I did. Have you joined the Grow Your Money Club yet? If not, why not? The Grow Your Money Club is a comprehensive program designed to take you through the complete wealth building journey. We don't just offer random courses, we guide you along a clear path, starting with fixing your credit and becoming a certified credit expert, to building your business, increasing your cash flow, diversifying your portfolio, and ultimately letting your money work for you. With over 30 trainings designed to increase your net worth, you get to either purchase the trainings individually or go through the 12-month roadmap. Here are just a few of the courses. From campus to cash flows, this is teaching your children to become real estate investors. The wealth map training shows you how to eliminate your debt, increase your credit, and diversify your revenue streams. You can learn to write your book using ChatGPT. Learn how to build your online community. What about 8 ways to make money using AI? Oh, and here's 7 online revenue streams to fund your $1 million dream. How about learning how to purchase tax deeds or land banks? What about getting started in government contracting? If you're a rookie, the Real Estate for Rookies training has everything you need. The Business Blueprint training will help you build your business foundation, get business credit, get business funding, and learn how to pay yourself so that you can scale your business to the next level. Or perhaps you want to create jaw-dropping video content using CapCut, Midjourney, and ChatGPT. There are so many trainings and master classes within the Grow Your Money Club, and I also drop 1 new training per month. You do not want to miss out on this opportunity to invest in yourself, because guess what? You are your biggest commodity. You are your biggest investment. Join the Grow Your Money Club today. I teach you all of that inside the Grow Your Money Club. These are pre-recorded trainings that I have that you can watch them. They're self-paced. You could do them at your own leisure, at your own time. It is a community of folks who are just taking these trainings and just learning. So this is like $97 a month, trainings after training after training. So that's one thing. Somebody said, how are lives being trained? Who said that? How are lives being trained through your program? I'll tell you this. So I take Black women. First of all, we have a community of Black women that are all like-minded, that are all in the same, and their goal, most of them are successful in their own right, in their own way, right? All of these women have a desire. That's to live life on their own terms. That's to create legacies for their families, for their communities. That's to learn as much as they can. So I teach skill-based training, right? So I teach them how to do certain things to be able to monetize their genius. So the thing that comes easy to you, it could be a book, it could be a business, it could be enhancing or scaling your current business. So I've had people, and you can go to my website. There's constancecarter.com. There are several testimonials, but I had Dee Dee McKern. She might be listening. She's an attorney, and she already had a successful law firm. And as a result of her going through the the Net7 Collective, she was able to add another rep. Because when she came to me, she said, Constance, I'm at this age. I lived a great life. I made a lot of money, but I need to get my retirement together. Honestly, I don't have my retirement together, and I need to get my retirement together, right? I'm almost at that age. So I helped her create another revenue stream inside her law firm. So now she's counsel for a school system. And as a result of what she learned in the Net7 Collective, she was able to incorporate that and implement training that she designed from the skills that she learned. Now she got another revenue stream. Now that's her retirement. Okay, that's in addition to the real estate investment training. That's in addition to maybe the government contract training, like all of the other things that I introduced to them. I introduced them to other skills, but also like if they wanted to, some of them are out there speaking. Some of them have started a podcast. Some of them have businesses that they're remodeling to be able to show other people their business. It's about creating businesses that can make you money while you're asleep. Evergreen businesses. So just duplicating themselves and their skill base and creating something that they're able to monetize. That's how their lives will change. That's one way. The other way is just being in community with other women, with other like-minded women. That's the big thing. Like I'm just the connector. I know what I know very, very, very well, but there are some things that these other ladies know more than me. And so we share. It's a knowledge share. It's a brain share of information that we have with each other. And so that's, oh yeah, Jahari's back there. Jahari's part of the Net7 Collective, right? She's learning how to run her own. She came to me. She said, I want to do my own podcast. I want to do, she's like in sports. And she's learning how to run a podcast just from behind the scenes right now. So they learn all this stuff real time. And I encourage them and I hold them accountable. They have accountability partners. We hold each other accountable. So it's a whole system. And then we do a lot of not just professional development, but we do personal development because there's limitations that a lot of us have placed on ourselves as a result of things that we learn. So it's relearning things. Even this idea of learning something different about what we're doing with Donald Trump. Okay, well, how can I take advantage of it? Because we got to get from being in that victim mindset to a victorious mindset. So that's what's holding a lot of people back. I can show you how to get the money. That's easy. Money comes and it goes. Money is energy. It's recyclable, right? You can always get the money. Can you keep the money? And then once you get the money, what are you going to do with it? And then how do you make an impact as a result of you having the money? That's huge. So go to constancecarter.com or go to net7bbs.com, fill out the form, and we'll schedule an appointment so I can talk to you to see if you would be a good fit. Somebody said, what was that Jackie said? She changed things in my life. Thank you. We still got to meet. We still got to meet, Jackie. She said, I changed things in her life by $2 million, and I'm not even in the program, which is wild to me. You still got to DM me. Tell me who you are, Jackie. She mentioned that yesterday when we were on the show. She said she made $2 million as a result of listening to me. I'm like, what? Tell me. I need to know. I need your testimonial, lady. Let's go. And of course, these ladies have become authors. So the great thing is, like inside, I'm sometimes not the big ideation person, right? I'm an executor. And so we had in the last cohort, somebody said we should do an anthology, and we have a whole anthology. Yo, look.
This book is an inspiring collection of stories from the ladies of the Net7 Collective who've overcome adversity, broken generational cycles, and built wealth while uplifting their communities. I am so proud to be a part of such a powerful group of women who truly live by the principle, iron sharpens iron.
These ladies know I am an executor. I don't let any grass grow under my feet. And so this was birthed out of a session that we had. Somebody said we should do a book. And so within a month, we had a book. Some of these ladies have been trying to write books for years. They become authors overnight. So things like that. Somebody said the other day at our meeting on Wednesday, they were like, hey, are we going to be able to meet in person? And I was like, no, we don't meet in person. Another person said, well, when's our anniversary? So just in that one meeting, now we're going to have an in-person, weekend retreat. But things come up inside of our group, and we just kind of co-create some things together. How is it going to benefit us? I've created products. We're creating from this book right here. The authors from this book are creating other products that are going to, generate revenue right now. Right now, we're creating other products that are going to generate revenue. So it's all of those things. I'm showing you all of those things. Just me doing this. I'm showing them how to do this. Right. I was on here last week and I said, we going to mind our black. I was flowing around. I was like, we going to mind our black business. We going to mind our black business. Now I got a cup that I'm selling, that I'm making money from. That's how I do things. I was talking on here one time about having a living trust. Oh, it's easy. You can do this. You go blah, 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 blah. Go to Chat GPT. And then I went and updated my living trust on Chat GPT, and I created an ebook. If you go to makemylivingtrust.com, I created an ebook to help people create their living trust, because those are extremely important to your wealth building. So if you go to do I have it on here? Makemylivingtrust.com. Makemylivingtrust.com. I have an ebook to show you how to make your own livingtrust.com without paying thousands of dollars to an attorney. You can make your own living trust. I have an ebook, $20, right? I created that by just having a conversation with y'all. I created a monetizable product. I show them the ladies how to create monetizable products. I have t-shirts, right? I have a t-shirt that says stay woke, wealthy, outstanding, knowledgeable, and empowered. Something I just created off the cuff. I show the ladies how to do that. So it's all of those things. It's not just, one thing. Now I do say, because remember we were talking about, if you were on here last week, we were talking about, I think earlier this week, we were talking about side hustles, adding side hustles and having multiple revenue streams. So I do want you to focus on one thing first, and then we'll figure out how to develop other products and services that are monetizable, that are evergreen, so that you can make money while you're sleeping. That's the thing that we learn inside the Net7 Collective. That's the thing that the ladies learn inside the Net7 Collective. Yeah. So it's all those things. So if you are a black woman or a black woman, yes, iron does sharpen iron. If you are a black woman or a black woman that needs this, because I need them too. And one of the things that Dr. Emma Frazier, I don't know if you guys know Dr. Emma Frazier, but I don't know if you know Dr. George Frazier, one of the greatest thought leaders in the country. He's actually one of my mentors. And but his sister, Dr. Emma Frazier, is a Harvard professor, Harvard PhD, went through my program. And let me see, I think I have the video in here. Let me just show y'all real quick. Then we're going to get out of here for real. Do I have Dr. Emma? Oh, let me just show you.
When I joined the Net7, I had no idea of Constance connection. I met a group of women that changed my life. But Constance showed me, when you get one-on-one coaching with her, you get a certain amount of those. You meet these women. We learned about government contracts. We learned how to build wealth. We learned about real estate. And we built a sisterhood that sustains me to this day. So I'm telling you, if you want to rock your life, if you want to grow your brain, if you want to upscale your brand, you can get all of that with today's purchase of the grade. And I tell her, her name Constant is who she is. She is constant. She is resilient. And you will feel like you're the only one in a group of women, because she has an intimate touch when it comes to knowing her clients.
Yes. That was my daughter. Yeah, my daughter. My daughter is my biggest cheerleader, y'all. But that was at the Power Networking Conference. And that's another thing. Y'all need to be at the Power Networking Conference. Dr. George Frazier, every year I've been going there. When we were first going there, we was broke, me and my girlfriends. And we just started being around millionaires and billionaires. And Dr. Emma Frazier, definitely a millionaire. Okay. I went through her coaching program back in 2016. And she said my coaching program was the best coaching program she had ever been in, the best cohort. This is from a woman who is seasoned, y'all, a woman who has been around some of the best of the best of the best, who said this coaching program changed her life and it was one of the best she had ever been. And I'm telling you, when I coach her, it's really like a session where she's coaching me, but she has so much wisdom. I mean, I could just sit under her at her feet and listen to her for hours. But, we talk about different things, and she's 80 years old. So if you think it's too late, or you think you're too old, you're not. So, she it turns into these sessions where she's just dropping these wisdom bombs on me too. And it's a beautiful thing. I love Dr. Emma. I love Dr. Emma. She's one of the most amazing women you will ever want to meet. And you get to be with people like her, right? And she's not the only one, but you get to be with people like her. Like have a community with Dr. Emma, Fraser Pendleton. Oh my God. So anyway, that's what the Net7 Collective is. And then, y'all, we're going to get up out of here. Marcus said, I'm interested in writing a motivational book this year. Go, if you are a man, go to the Grow Your Money Club, because I do have training on how to write your book. How to write your book. So I have a training in there, how to write your book. You can buy that training individually, or you can go through the entire 12-month roadmap, however you want to do it. But it's good stuff. So if you are a Black woman or you know a Black woman, have them go to net7bbs.com and or constancecarter.com so they could get more information about Net7 Collective, see all the women who went through it. We got Victoria Monet's mama. You know, Victoria Monet, I put that on my own mama. Anyway, she's in there. We got singers who done sang in front of President Obama. We got, lawyers and doctors and people who, like me, with public high school diplomas, and, some of everybody from all walks of life inside the group. So you don't have to be a highly successful person, but you get to network and be a part of a community with highly successful people. It's a great investment. I'm gonna get on out of here, and then I want to show y'all the Black history. When we talk about Black history, there's a lot of us who invented some things, a lot of things, and we got absolutely no credit for. So I'm highlighting 55 Black inventors and showing their inventions. Oh, before that, ask Constance. I know Jahari showed it before when my thing went out. But what's up, it's your girl Constance Carter, and we're gonna add a new segment. It's called Ask Constance. Now, this is nothing new because I've done Ask Constance in the past. It's where people shoot me a DM and they'll ask me certain questions. We're going to take a segment of the show and just answer questions. Or you can shoot me a DM. Go ahead and make sure you follow me everywhere at I am Constance Carter. Shoot me a DM and ask me a question. This could be a question about anything. It could be about real estate, credit, wealth building, marriage, love, sex, whatever you want. It could be a strawberry letter. It could be a Dear John or a Dear Abby letter. Whatever you want. Anything that you want to bring and you want to ask, we're going to have a segment just for your questions. That was me earlier today. So if you have an Ask Constance question, go follow me everywhere. I am Constance Carter on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and all that. But shoot me a DM if you have a question that you want me to ask on live. I'm here every day, Monday through Friday. And I'm also on all platforms, all podcast platforms. So if you can't listen to me live, go back to my podcast on Spotify, on Apple Music, on iTunes, on Amazon, everywhere you hear podcasts, I'm there. And you can kind of hear some of my previous podcasts. But we're going to go ahead and, somebody, Jahari said, what's a strawberry letter? You guys haven't seen the strawberry letter where they ask for advice, and it'd be like some weird advice. You ever see the strawberry letter on Steve Harvey? Anyway. But if you have something that you need advice on, and you need the family, because we all family here, and you want to be anonymous, and we got the family here. If you need advice for the family, we'll read your letter on here, and we can make it anonymous, and we can get feedback from the family. But that'll be a fun segment, again, to answer your questions. If you have specific questions about, love, marriage, wealth, sex, relationships, I don't know. I'm not an expert, but I can maybe certainly try to answer your questions. So that's it for me. Let's go to the Black history video, and then we're going to head on out of here. Thank you guys for staying on with me, though. Thank you. And thank you for staying on with me even when I was Black for 2 minutes. 2 minutes, y'all. I appreciate that, because my ass would have logged off. Thank you for sticking with me, rocking with me. You guys have an awesome weekend. I love y'all for real in real life.
Today in Black History, I'm going to give you a few Black inventors with their inventions from A to Z. First up, we have the air conditioning unit by Frederick M. Jones in 1949, the almanac by Benjamin Banneker in 1791, the auto cutoff switch by Granville T. Woods in 1839, the auto fishing device by George Cook in 1899, the baby buggy by William H. Richardson in 1889, the biscuit cutter by Alexander P. Ashbourne in 1875, the blood plasma bag by Charles Drew in 1945, The Chamber Commode by Thomas Elkins in 1897. The Clothes Dryer by George T. Sampson in 1971. Curtain Rod, Samuel R. Scrotchman in 1892. The Curtain Rod Support by William S. Grant in 1896. The Doorknob and the Doorstop by Osborne Dorsey in 1878. The Egg Beater by Willie Johnson in 1884. The Electric Lamp Bulb by Louis Ladmore in 1882. The Elevator by Alexander Miles in 1867. The Eye Protector by Powell Johnson in 1880. The Fire Escape Ladder by Joseph W. Winters in 1878. The Fire Extinguisher by Thomas Marshall in 1872. The Folding Bed by Leonard C. Bailey in 1899. The Folding Chair by Nathaniel Alexander in 1911. The Fountain Pen by Walter B. Purvis in 1890. The Furniture Caster by David A. Fisher in 1878. The Gas Mask, Garrett Morgan in 1914. The Golf Tee, George T. Grant in 1899. The Guitar by Robert F. Fleming in 1886. The Hairbrush by Lydia O. Newman in 1898. The Hand Stamp, Walter B. Purvis in 1883. The Ice Cream Scoop by Alfred L. Krall in 1897. The Insect Destroyer Gun by Albert C. Richardson in 1899. The Ironing Board by Sarah Boone in 1887. The Keychain by Frederick J. Loudon in 1894. The Lantern by Michael C. Harvey in 1884. The Lawn Sprinkler by John H. Smith in 1897. The Lemon Squeezer by John Thomas White in 1893. The Lock, Washington A. Martin in 1893. The Lubricating Cup by Elijah McCoy in 1895. The Lunch Pail by James Robinson in 1887. The Mailbox by Paul L. Downing in 1891. Mop, Thomas W. Stewart in 1893. Peanut Butter, George Washington Carver in 1896. The Pencil Sharpener, John L. Love, 1897. The Record Player Arm, Joseph H. Dickinson in 1890. The Rolling Pin, John W. Reed in 1864. The Shampoo Headrest, Charles Orrin Bailiff in 1898. The Spark Plug, Edmund Berger in 1839. The Stethoscope, Thomas A. Carrington in 1876. The Straightening Comb, Madam C.J. Walker in 1905. The Street Sweeper, Charles B. Brooks in 1890. The Phone Transmitter, Granville T. Woods in 1884. The Thermostat Control by Frederick M. Jones in 1960. The Traffic Light, Garrett Morgan in 1923. And the Tricycle by Matthew A. Cherry in 1886. Now, these are just a few Black inventors that you may have never heard of, but it's okay. They had messed around and gave us the internet, and now they can't keep it from us. These stories need to be shared so that we are reminded that we have greatness in us. Now, drop a Black fist in the comments and share with the people so that they can know how dope we are.